Hi everyone, my name's Kat, I write books and stuff, and this is my YouTube channel. Okay, so welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, hello. Make sure you drop a comment down below and let me know if this is the first video you found of mine. If you've been here before, welcome back. I always appreciate it when you check in on my videos. So what I've got for you this week is my wrap up for the month of July. So that is reading, writing and watching. So let's start off with writing. The reason I'm starting with writing is because once again, July was actually a pretty shocking month for me. Personally, that is. Yeah, you guys probably already know, if you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I've got an ongoing health issue. So here I am. It's August and there wasn't a lot of writing done. So you'll remember, if you've seen my wrap up from last month, that my intention for July was to complete 31 hours of writing / editing because I'm working on a redraft. I abandoned kind of working towards a word goal because what I found was, particularly with some of the chapters where it was already quite filled out, I'd do an hour or a couple of hours work and I'd end up with minus words, because that's sometimes what happens when you redraft and you move things around and so on and so forth. So I wasn't working to a word count goal, I was working to an hourly goal, and over the course of the month I started off reasonably well, but then there was like a big chunk in the middle of the month where, you know, yeah, things just weren't going great. And so I think over the course of the whole month I probably only managed something like 8 hours or something like that, which is obviously far less. So I haven't counted up my words, I haven't actually counted up my stats or anything like that. It's just one of those things I've kind of written it off, drawn a line under it, never mind. I am obviously resetting that goal now and working towards 31 hours in August. It is still my intention, if I can, to publish this book this year, but obviously time is now running short. We're in August and realistically speaking, I've still got, I was expecting to have done about 3 redrafts by now and I still haven't completed the first one. We're working towards 31 hours again in August, but July was pretty abysmal on the writing front. Really didn't get a lot done. Shit happens. Okay, so that was then what I have been writing during July, which obviously is not a lot. What have I been reading next? So my reading, I have read 2 books during the month of July. So the first book that I want to talk about is Sustainable Loops by Connor Miller. Now, this is illustrated and the foreword is written by Cheyenne Barton. If you've watched my bullet journal videos, then you will know the name because she is a creative. Basically, she's an artist and an illustrator, and she does sticker sets and things like that. And obviously I've used some of her stickers in my bullet journal. So this is Sustainable Loops. This is written by Connor Miller. He is her partner, her boyfriend. It's kind of like a little productivity sort of self-help book. I really enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it, and I think there's a lot of value in this little book. It is very little, you can see it's only, you know, I don't even know how many pages it is, what, like a couple of hundred? It's not even 100 actually, it's like 66 pages. But there's lots of really valuable advice in this for people who hustle, basically people who, you know, have their own businesses or a small business as well as doing other things. It's in a very conversational style. It's really fun, really quick to read, really easy to read, but the advice in it is really good, and it's kind of about sort of finding balance and finding a happy place in your various activities and in the various things, all the things that you do and that you're involved in. It's only 66 pages, like I say, so it's not a great deal of investment of time if you do want to ultimately read this book. But, you know, it's kind of a fun, easy read. You might read this and find that it's really valuable. So, you know, I would, on that basis, it's not like a big deal or anything. The only other kind of thing, again, not a huge deal, is that there's a little bit of, shall we say, needless swearing in this. So there's a few times where there's like, you know, curse words that are dropped in, and obviously that's because it's this very conversational style. Now, I'm not easily offended. I'm not really offended by that at all. But if you are easily offended, you're going to stumble across a couple of words in this and go, what? And also, like I say, bit unnecessary. I would guess the author might argue that it's about getting that kind of conversational style. You know, it's not a big deal either way. So what I'd say is that the ticket price on this, considering it's not a huge book, is pretty high. I think this cost me, I don't actually remember how much it cost me. I got it on Amazon. It's print on demand, so obviously their prices tend to be a bit higher anyway because they're independently published. But I still enjoyed it, and I still think it's worth a read, and it's particularly good if you have lost that kind of sense of balance in your life about kind of, you know, if you find yourself working or hustling so hard that you're not really happy anymore. So there you go. So that's book number 1. The second book that I read in July and that I want to talk about is this one. This is Sculpt Yourself by Savvy. Now, Savvy is an author-tuber. She's here on AuthorTube. I will link her channel right up here. I strongly recommend that you go and check her out. I think she's brilliant. I love her channel. This is the first book that I've read of hers, and I have not been disappointed. This is my absolute, hands down, favourite fiction book so far that I've read in 2019. It's really interesting, it's really unique, it's original, and it's very fun and very easy to read as well. I'm sorry if you're getting loads of glare off my light as well with this, but it's a shiny cover. So Sculpt Yourself then focuses on 3 particular characters. There's Amber, there's Judy, and there's Kelly. So Amber is, I think she's the older sister. Yeah, she's the older sister. Judy is the younger sister, and Kelly is Amber's girlfriend. The idea or the basis of the story is that there's a new drug called Lipomorph, and what Lipomorph allows you to do is it allows you to move the fat in your body to a different area of your body. So what you could conceivably do is take Lipomorph, and it allows you to move, say, the fat from your stomach to your boobs, and effectively allows you to sculpt yourself. This is obviously, it has a lot of themes to do with body image and to do with promotion, self-promotion, self-image, and all that kind of thing as well. There's a lot of theming around sort of drug taking and drug abuse and ethics in that sort of area. And it, as well, the sort of ethics of marketing is touched on in particular. Because obviously quite often what you find is a product that's aimed at women or a product that's kind of about beauty is marketed in a certain way that is you know, perhaps not particularly ethical, in the sense that quite a lot of those kinds of products play on female insecurities. So this is basically the story of these 3 characters. So Amber is very much kind of feminist and against Lipomorph. She doesn't like the idea of it. Judy, her younger sister, is all for. She's kind of a sort of chunkier, shall we say, curvy girl, and she uses Lipomorph to sculpt herself and improve herself. And then Kelly works in marketing. She's the girlfriend of Amber, and she works in marketing. So this is, you can imagine, based just on what I've said, that this is really kind of a unique and interesting read. Now, you might think from what I've said that perhaps this is a bit heavy-handed, or it's maybe preachy or something like that. This is not. This is written in a very, very conversational style. It's kind of aimed at a sort of young adult or new adult market. So it's an easy read. The theming as well is kind of put out there, and because there are so many characters who have differing opinions about this product and about body image and feminism and so on and so forth, because of that, it's really kind of handled with quite a light touch. I thought this was brilliant. I flew through it, and I found it really difficult to put it down most of the time as well. I highly recommend it. It's available on Amazon. Again, it's an indie published book. I think it's indie published or published on Amazon. No, it's indie published. It's Represent Publishing. That might be Savvy's own label, actually. It might be a print on demand from Amazon. But, you know, again, there's kind of a high price tag on this book just because it is. I'm going to check, actually. Yeah, So it's print on demand through Amazon. There is a kind of high price tag again associated with that. But I think it's well worth it. If you haven't read it, if you've never come across it, make sure you read this book. Read this book. This is a good book. This is a really good book. I love this book. I'm going to read it again in the future. I thought it was brilliant. And make sure you check out Savvy's channel as well. Okay, so that then covers writing and reading. The next thing then to talk about is watching. What have I been watching during the month of July? Now, if you watch my June wrap up, link up here. If you watch my June wrap up, then you'll know that I started to watch Big Little Lies, and actually I couldn't really get into it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I had done when I'd watched the first season. So I have been banking all the episodes of that. I haven't watched any more since the end of June. I'm sorry. I am going to be going back to that at some point in the future. Obviously, the nearish sort of future, because there aren't many episodes per season, I think. So yeah, I really kind of need to catch up, I think. But because of that, I was at a bit of a loss, and I actually don't really watch a lot of kind of regular TV, normal TV. I don't know. I tend to focus more on finding something that I really want to watch, or finding something that sort of sparks my interest and then watching that. And I'll be honest, I haven't really looked for anything else to watch apart from Big Little Lies. So I've been at a little bit of a watching loss, and I wasn't really sure what to talk about. And then I remembered the beginning of July was my birthday, and some of the gifts that I received are the kinds of gifts that you watch. And also I got an Amazon voucher from one of my family and spent it all, pretty much all, not all of it, on DVDs, on Disney DVDs. So this is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about my Disney DVDs. I am a bit of a Disney nut, a very small-ish Disney nut. I have a few friends who are as well, and yeah, we love a bit of Disney. So the ones in particular I watched, I kind of binge watched some of these as well. I think there was one night when my husband was away and I watched like 3 movies in one night. So I have watched then Mary Poppins Returns, Lilo and Stitch, Robin Hood, and this one was Oliver and Company, and then the newest one out of the bunch is Coco. So yeah, they basically, I really wanted to watch Mary Poppins because it was my concert at the end of July. Sorry again for the glare, shiny things. It was my choir's concert at the end of July, and we did a medley of music from Mary Poppins Returns. I think it was like 3 songs, and it was absolutely brilliant. And I really wanted to watch the movie before we did the concert, so that I had a sense of what these songs were about, and I could see them in context in the film. And I have to say, I am a huge fan of the original Mary Poppins. It was one of my brother's favourite films, one of the ones that he watched pretty much on repeat over and over and over again. And so, you know, at one point I think I could probably have recited the entire film from memory. So this had a lot to live up to, I've got to say, because, you know, I'm a big fan, you know, moving on to this one. But the thing is, actually, this was brilliant, and I think Emily Blunt is a fantastic alternative Mary Poppins, or new Mary Poppins, however you want to think of it. She was great, and actually I thought the casting was brilliant, the kids were great, the adult actors were great as well. Lin-Manuel Miranda's in it too, and he is one of my most favourite writing, performing idols, I suppose you could say. I think he's incredible, and yeah, this was brilliant. I've already watched it again in August, so definitely recommend. Obviously Lilo and Stitch has been out for a good while. I bought it on DVD. In fact, is this Blu-ray? I think this might be a Blu-ray. Yeah, no, this is a DVD. So I bought this myself on DVD just because I hadn't seen it for a while, and it's a really adorable film. The Lilo and Stitch are perfectly suited to each other, and anyone who is a bit quirky, a little bit strange maybe, will really vibe with these characters. Robin Hood was a gift. Somebody gave this to me. In fact, I think it was my in-laws gave this one to me with Pocahontas, I want to say, for my birthday, and this was the first one that I watched of those two, just because again, I have a real soft spot for this film. I know that not everybody likes it. I love this. I love this film, and I really enjoyed watching it again. Oliver and Company is one of Disney's flops, animated flops. It was out in the 80s. I want to say late 80s, so like 88 or 89 or something like that. I can't even really remember. But this is a completely underrated movie. Okay, so it's not Disney's best work, but if you like things like All Dogs Go to Heaven, then this is along similar lines, and I don't really understand why people didn't really get this as much as those movies. Perhaps it was just because it was a bit of a departure from Disney's normal standards or normal methods and methods of animating. But you know, I watched it again, and it's got a great soundtrack. It's really fun. It's really cute. I'm glad I got it. And then finally we've got Coco, and I love this movie. It is so sweet. I went to see it when it was out at the cinema with my friend Ella, and yeah, it's just all that Day of the Dead stuff is really, really cool. I like what's the best word for it? I like the aesthetic in this film. I like the way that they've done the kind of handled the Sugar Skull characters, and I love this. I love the way that it's done. I can't wait to watch it again. And I only just watched it like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago or something. It's really sweet. So yeah. So that is pretty much everything. That's what I have been reading, writing and watching during the month of July. Coming up in August, I am hoping to finish the audiobook that I started during July. That audiobook is Clash of Kings, so I have finally revisited the book, because I think probably the biggest problem I had with it when I was reading it back in like May or April, whenever it was, probably both of those months, was that it had been so long since I started it, and you know, I'd lost track of the characters and what had happened, and so I just went for the audiobook, started it from the beginning again. I'm about caught up with where I was, I think, and yeah, it's going a lot better. So whether it's a case of it's going better because, and I'm more into it because it's kind of gone in one go rather than having the big break, or whether it's a case of the audiobook using that is just better and helping it to sink in, I don't really know. We'll talk about that hopefully for the August wrap up in September. But yeah, so obviously that's coming up. My intention as well is to watch Big Little Lies, so I hopefully will be able to talk about that. And like I say, I am aiming for 31 hours of writing and editing during the month of August. So stick around. If you have enjoyed this video, then please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't, then it's okay to give it a dislike. I don't really mind. I would love it if you would leave a comment down below. Talk about some of the things you've been reading, writing, watching, whatever. If there's any of these things that I've mentioned that you also enjoy, or perhaps that you hate, then that's good too. Let me know. If you are new to the channel and you haven't already subscribed, then please do. That really helps me out a lot. And obviously then you can keep track of the other videos that I release. If you want to be notified whenever I upload a video, then make sure you ring the bell as well. Once again, I really appreciate the time that you spend watching my videos, the time that you spend on my channel. Fantastic that you're here. I really appreciate you. Love you all. Yeah, thanks for watching, and tune in soon. Hi everyone, my name's Kat. I've forgotten what I do. This is Sustainable Loops by Connor Miller. I think it's Connor Miller. It is Connor Miller. I'm not an idiot. It focuses on 3 particular characters. So there's Amber, Judy, and somebody else. Oh my god, I'm so bad at names. Also, this is nice that I'm doing this now and not the last week of the month. I feel like the wrap-ups have kind of merged together. I think I may have talked about July wrapping up in June's wrap-up. I get confused. I never really know what the hell I'm talking about when I'm doing last month, next month, this month. I don't really know. I'm just going to show you my mug. This was a birthday present from a friend of mine. Look, the handle's a little rainbow and it's a little cloud and it's really cute. It's the most ridiculous mug to drink out of because it's all bobbly on the top. So if you get the wrong place, the water goes all over you instead of in your mouth. But I freaking love this mug. It's one of my favourite mugs. It's my water mug that I have on my desk most of the time. Yeah, there you go. Happy little cloud mug.